Okay, so this is an explanation for PT40 Game 2, and this is a game about a study where we're testing exactly 5 of 7 cold medications. So our variables are F, G, H, I, K, L, and M. And so they're telling us in this game that we are ranking the medications from first through fifth, and that we're only using 5 of the 7 medications, right? When they tell us that we're only using 5 of the 7, that automatically makes it an in and out game. So whenever you have a game where they're telling you that you're using some of your variables but not others, the ones that you're not using are out, and the ones that you are using are in. So in some way, this is going to be an in and out game, and we also know because we're ranking them from best to worst, it's also going to have an element of sequencing. So let's do the sequencing part of it first. If we're ranking them from 1 through 5, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we know that they said 1 was the best, so we're going to put a little B closer to 1 and a little W closer to 5 to show that 5, the one that's fifth, is the worst. And then we know that there is an element of in and out for this game, so we're going to have 2 variables that are out. Awesome. And then now for our rules, we know that L ranks second for sure. So I'm just going to put a little L here and circle it, so we know for sure that that's where L is going. Either F or G ranks first. So we can have a little F slash G here over the 1. And then our next rule is that I is tested. That means that I is going on this side of the diagram. I is never going to show up on this side, right? If I is going to be tested, I can't be out. So that's not happening. I is going to be somewhere on this side. Our next rule, H ranks better than G if both are tested. So if you have both, then H comes before G. So I see that we have a G over here from our second rule. If H comes before G, can G come first? No, right? So if you have H and G, then F would be the one going first. Right? So if you have H and G, then yes, H goes before G, and then F is the one that comes first. And then our next rule, K ranks better than F if both are tested. So K has to go before F if both are tested. It's very similar to the last rule, right? Like if K has to go before F if you have both of them, that means that F can no longer go first, right? If K and F both show up, F is not going first, so G must go first. Awesome. And then so something about this is something to think here, if you notice it, is whether H and K can both be in at the same time. Can you use both H and K? Well, if you have H, then you know that you can't have G be first, right? G being first doesn't happen. Similarly, if you have K, then F being first doesn't happen, right? And so if you have H and K in at the same time, you can't have either G or F be first, right? And so because of that, H and K, H or K, one of them has to be out. And just to show you why, let's try putting H and K in, right? Can we put H or K in 1? No, because F or G has to go there. Can we put it in 2? No, L has to go there. So the earliest we can put H or K, right, is at 3. So if we have H or K, doesn't matter, in 3, and then the same thing for 4, right? H or K, the other one. If it shows up in 4, H slash K, we know that we have to have F or G go 1 in the first spot, right? Go at 1. That can no longer happen, right? Because now that we have H and K, whether we try to pick F or whether we try to pick G or both, since we have H and K, whatever letter we want has to go at fifth, right, from F or G, and it can no longer go first. So we have nothing left for the first space. So that's why having H and K in at the same time does not work. So on to our last rule. If M is tested, also if you didn't notice the fact that H and K, like H or K, one of them has to be out, that's totally fine. This game is like it's very possible to do this game without realizing that. So if M is tested, right, if you have M, then both F and H are tested. So if you have F and H being tested, well, since we know that H or K must be out, right, that means if F and H are being tested, K is the one that's out, right? K is not in anymore. Okay, next. Those were all our rules. So now we want to think, okay, which one of the following could be the 5 cold medications that the study ranks listed from first through fifth? Well, we know L has to go second, right? So based off of that information, we can cross off A. We know F or G has to go first. All of the rest follow that. We know if we have H and G, H has to go before G. So for that reason, we can cross off B. C, K has to show up before F. We can cross out E for that reason, right? If we have K and F, K has to show up before F. And then next, if we have M, we need to have F and H. Well, in C, we have M, but we don't have H, right? So we can cross out C. Our answer has to be D. And so I'm going to write in that combination F, L, I, H, M. And then that means I'm putting G and K out. Okay, so next question. Which one of the following could be true? G ranks better than M. So can G rank better than M? Well, let's see. So that means that they are asking us to put in M, and then if we have M, right, we have to have F and H, and we know K is out. Because if H is in, then K has to be out because of this over here. At least one of them has to be out. And then they're telling us that G ranks better than M, right? So G has to be one of the things that we have. And then we need to have I on this side. And then, hey, we need to have L because L ranks second. Does this work? No, because we all of a sudden have 6 things that we're trying to put in, right? So this situation, not going to work. We can cross out A. H ranks better than F. Let's see. If H ranks better than F, we have H in, we have F in, we have I in, and we have L in, right? And we know that K has to be out because if we have H in, then K is going to be out. And then let's see. L is going to be second. We can put F first. But we're trying to, I take that back. We're trying to put F, H. So let's put H here and F. H is ranking higher than F. That means that G has to be going here, right? Can that happen? Can G go here if we already have H? No, right? Because then H has to show up before G. So this also will not work. Next, I ranks better than F. So if we have I ranking better than F, that means that we have G over here, right? And then L, and then maybe we can put I here and F here, right? Our next letter can't be M Because if we have M in, then H would have to be in. So M is going to be one of the things that we put out. And then this last thing here, can it be H? No, because if H was here, then H would have to be before G, right? So H not happening. K, we need to put K before F, right? So this would actually have to be K over here. And then we could put F over here. And that works, right? We're following all the rules. And so that would be our answer. I ranks better than F. That can happen. Next, which one of the following cold medications must be among those tested in the study? So what letter do we have to test? Well, we know based off of the combinations we have here, we don't have to test G and we don't have to test K. So we can cross off those. We also know from the second combination we don't have to test M and we don't have to test H. So the answer is F, A. So I can write in here, hey, F has to be tested, meaning that F cannot be out on this side. Next question. Which one of the following is a complete and accurate list of the cold medications, any one of which could be the cold medication ranked fifth? Well, we know M and F can be ranked fifth, right? So any answer option that doesn't have either M or F can immediately be crossed out. So B doesn't have F, so we can cross it out. C doesn't have F, so that can be crossed out. And then D doesn't have M, so we can cross that out. The only difference between A and E is I, right? So now we want to test, hey, can I go fifth? Let's see. If I is going fifth, what's happening? Nothing much. Yeah, I would assume I can go fifth. Let's try it out. So if L has to go second, we can add that in there. We should be able to do MHF. Let's see. Yeah, if we put F here, and then M or H could go here. And very similarly, M or H can go fourth. And then so the letters that you have out are K, and then G. Okay, that seems to work. So E would be your answer because I can be ranked fifth. Next, if I ranks third, each of the following could be true of the study except. So we do have two combinations where I ranks third, right? They're looking for something that must be false. They're looking for something that can't be true, right? So let's cross out everything that could be true. M ranks better than H. We don't know. We're not sure, so we can leave that one open. K ranks better than G. We don't know whether K can rank better than G, right? So I would leave that one open. I ranks better than F. That can definitely happen, right? In this combination over here, we have an example where I ranks better than F. So I would cross out C. H ranks better than M. Here, H does rank better than M, right? So we can cross off that. G ranks better than K. G can rank better than K, right? Based off of this one. So that works. So now we just have these two answer options to think about. Hey, if I's going third, can M rank better than F? So if I's going third, M rank better than H, sorry. Then they're saying, hey, we have M, so that must mean we have F and H as well. And we know we have L because we have to have L. So in this situation, F would go here, and then we could have H/M as these last two. Does this work? It does, right? If you have F here, you're taking care of this rule. Okay, we put L second. We have I and F on this side. We don't have H and G together, and we don't have K and F together, so neither of these rules apply. So basically, in this situation, we would have K be out, and then we would also have G be out. So this definitely works. So we can cross out the fact that M can rank better than H, because M can rank better than H. So it must be false that K ranks better than G. And let's see why that's true really quickly. So if K ranks better than G, that means we have the letter K and we have the letter G. If we have K and G, our other letters are going to be I, F, and L. So L, because we always have to have F, right? So L is going to go here. And because we have K and F together, G is the one that's going to go first. And then we have to have K before F. So we could do something like K, F, I. And then we know H can be out. And then the other letter to be out would be M. So can K rank before G in this situation? No, it can't, because when you have K and G in, you need to have I, F, and L in as well. And in that situation, because K has to come before F, G's the one going first, right? So K can't rank before G in this situation. So B is our answer. And that was it. That was everything.